Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? This is, of course, Michael Zuber, author of One Rental at a Time, and this is your daily financial news for October 11th. First and foremost, just a reminder, if this is your first time, we do this live every day around 7:30. Again, I like doing these live, so it's just one take and we're done. And again, we do these about 7:30 because I'm up early. It allows me to kind of read what's going on and then share with you my take. First and foremost, if you like what we do here and you have yet to subscribe, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We are 57 people away from the magic 10,000 number, and it would be wonderful to have you be part of the first 10,000. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you can be a part of that. And of course, always hit that thumbs up button. It does help the YouTube algorithm, and I really don't know what that means. But on to the news of the day. So one of the things that, if you follow the channel for any length of time, you know, is that I believe this crisis will not be a residential mortgage crisis, but instead a commercial mortgage crisis, a commercial mortgage-backed security, CMBS. And I have found some numbers finally, at least to highlight where the problems might lie. And I've got I've got four of the largest banks numbers with what they have in the commercial segments, and then broken out over the most at risk. So let's start with JP Morgan. They have the largest book of business for the commercial mortgage-backed securities. Their total is 148 billion, right? That is their total. And then if you break it out over office, retail, and hotel, which are, I'm not even sure if it's arguably, certainly the most at-risk segments. They have the most in office at 16.7, 11.3 in retail, and only 3.5 billion in hotels. So with the rest of that, what would that be? 27, 30. So the other 118 must be in multifamily or industrial, maybe storage, things of that nature. Bank of America is next. Book of business is less than 50% of JP Morgan. Their total comes in at 64.1 billion. Even though they're half of JP Morgan, they have more exposure in office, 17.8 billion. So what is that? Roughly 25% of their business. They have 8.4% in retail, again more than 10% of their business, and a whopping 7.5 billion in hotels. Again, think about that. Bank of America has a book of business that is 50% less than JP Morgan, but they have 2x the exposure to hotels. They have a million more in office, or a billion more, billion. God, all these zeros, it's a billion, not a million, billion more. Finally, Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo has just shy of JP Morgan, 147 billion, but they are their portfolio is probably the most in trouble. They have 38.5 billion exposed in office. That is 2.3x bigger than JP Morgan. They have 14.4 exposure in retail, so about 30% more. And God, they have over 12 billion exposure in hotels, 3.5 times more than JP Morgan. So Wells Fargo is, again, looking at these numbers across three of the biggest banks, has the most exposure. And if you want to get one of these hats, which I'm very proud of, they come in 3 colors. You can find a link below any of my videos. There's a link to my hats, which I am fond of. You can see some of the colors back there. But yes, the hat is available, and I wear it every day because I'm proud of it. One rental at a time. And then lastly, this to round out the fourth largest bank, it is Citigroup. Citigroup has $59 billion of exposure, but they didn't break it out over time. So again, JP Morgan is the largest, but really has arguably the best book. Wells Fargo, basically the same, a billion behind. But boy, again, these are totals, right? 38 million in office, 14 in retail, 12 billion hotel. That doesn't show a mix of where it is. That's just in total. But wow, Wells Fargo, you have some risky loans going on, would be my guess. When we get on to the rest of the news, we have Congress, both Republicans and Democrats, kind of poo-pooing the latest stimulus offer from our president, which basically means we can stop talking about stimulus until after the election. Let's stop clicking on stimulus videos, because the only people you're making rich are the creators. Some of these stimulus guys are doing 3 videos a day and making $1 million a month. Do you realize that that's their stimulus? We've had 4 packages. How many videos can you do on 4 packages? I have no idea. Another thing that I want you to be aware of, I can see it coming, and when it comes, if we're not ready for it, we might miss it. But here's the deal. We are about to see some terrific Q3 numbers. GDP could be up 28, 30, 32%. We are going to see that plastered all over the media. I want you to realize that that's like your rear view mirror. Q3 performance has no bearing on what's going on right now in Q4. Q4, I have said it many times, is going to be painful. And because Congress failed us, many Americans are going to suffer. It's very sad. Didn't have to be this way. So I don't want us to look at Q3 and celebrate. I want us all to realize that in the moment, Q4 is painful. It is undoubtedly perhaps a first step into a double dip recession. It is frankly going to be more painful than the first leg. That leg down in Q2, that's as hard as it is to say, that is likely going to prove to be a flesh wound. This second hit, as the weather turns colder, as more small businesses go bankrupt, as more people get furloughed, maybe for a second time, it's no longer going to be a flesh wound, in my opinion. In Congress, without question, all of them deserve 100% of the blame, my opinion. A couple of things about retail sales that I saw, because again, online sales are up. A couple of things. First off, up 31.8% in Q2. I'm shocked it wasn't higher. But really what caught my attention, according to the Department of Commerce, online only makes up 16.1% of all sales. I suspect that number includes autos. It didn't break it down, right? Not a lot of auto sales go online, although that is increasing. It just feels like, I'm guessing 16.1% is a total value of transactions versus a numeric number, right? I think if you did a numeric number, I bet you more online, like transactions, right? In-person transactions versus online. I'm guessing online makes up bigger than 16%. I'm guessing this is on a total value of the commerce, right? Which you have to, statistics, you got to be careful because they can be easily twisted to lie to you. Not lie, mislead you if you're not asking yourself questions. Another thing I've been asking myself, and I've actually posed on these daily financial news videos a couple of times, is, man, Christmas is coming. What are you going to do to change your shopping habits? Something I have done for decades is I do 100% of my shopping in person on December 24th. Yes, I'm that person who gets up at 7, done shopping by 1, wrapped by 5, and then hand out gifts the next day. Yes, that's me. I was in retail for 10 years in high school and college. That's just what I learned to do. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I'm seeing lots of gift cards in my future, or cash, to the kids. Why not? Another thing, again, pointing to why I think Q4 is going to be off the charts painful. To date, through the end of Q3, there have been 850,000 bankruptcies filed that have highlighted this health crisis. It's been about 6 months, right? 6, 7 months. I believe in Q4, we're going to produce just in 90 days a number that dwarfs that. There are so many small businesses that are limping. Some states and governors are essentially choking off the oxygen. And unfortunately and tragically, the big are getting bigger. For example, McDonald's here recently posted a double-digit increase in September for breakfast. Some people are looking at that like McDonald's is coming back, McDonald's is strong. No. What that is telling you is the mom and pop bakery down the street or the mom and pop coffee shop had to close. And now McDonald's is the only thing open. Folks, we are losing the backbone of our country. It's going to be so painful. What else do we got for you? Oh, another tragedy. Right, we had an unemployment rate here last Friday, I think. Not this Friday, but two weeks ago, I guess. Everybody was celebrating, right? Unemployment fell to 7.7, I think, or 7.9, 7.7, whatever. But what was buried in the number, again, what is tragic and what is a trend that is painful, 865,000 women left the workforce. This is how the unemployment metric that gets reported works. You have to be actively seeking work. So the participation rate when 865,000 women leave, most of them to take care of kids, you can goose that number lower. And we should not be happy with that. The fact that schools are kind of all over the map, the fact that daycares are all over the map, we are asking a lot of families in this. And again, Congress, you suck. You failed us. You all need to go. Where the hell are the term limits? Why the heck do we have a bunch of 70-year-olds in Congress? We need younger people. We need to vote. And we, the American population, we own that. That's on us. We need to fix that. This is not okay. What else do we have? I guess the last thing to really talk about is Morgan Stanley has actually come out and talked about the commercial market. Again, go back and watch a video I did with Jonathan Twomley about why commercial is at risk. They actually see commercial valuations dropping between 15 and 30%. If valuations go, what would if it's a $100 million valuation and it drops 15%, goes to 85 million. What does that mean? That means in all likelihood, half your equity is gone if you have to reevaluate, and you probably have to do a capital raise if your money becomes due or refiable at a certain time. If it goes down 30%, your equity is wiped out entirely. This is why I believe this is going to be a crisis for the commercial mortgage-backed security. Do you know how big the commercial real estate market is in total? I found this number today. Usually I validate it in 2 places. I didn't have time. But the commercial real estate market is 3.8 trillion. That's with a T, trillion market. And wow, just do this math. If the market's, let's just round it to 4 trillion because it makes the math easier. If the $4 trillion market falls 30%, that's a $1.2 trillion haircut. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. So the end, folks, it is Sunday. That means you can expect a couple of more videos from me. One every week. I do my goals video for you, so you can look for that later. I was up early, so I produced a PowerPoint on the K-shaped recovery and some things I'm seeing there. And of course, I will likely do a couple of hot takes. If you ever have an article or a topic that you would love to ask me about, leave a comment below, and I could turn that into a hot take video, which is something I'm enjoying doing, just looking at a question and just responding. Again, I like to do all these lives, no music, no walkout, no screens, no nothing. That's who I am. And again, remember, I forget, we're 56 people short of 10,000. Please join the party, become part of the first 10,000, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.